You're probably not even aware of the number of logos that you encounter every day. Each one is designed to send you a message. As you begin the process of thinking about your own logo, pay attention to the ones around you. Notice what captures your attention, what excites you, what gives you a positive message, and what might leave you wondering about that company. It's important to understand that the logo you design is in effect the face of your company. For some of your customers, the logo will be the first thing that they see on your website, in an advertisement, perhaps in a brochure that you hand out. So it's important that the logo convey the message that you want to get across to your customer about what kind of a company this is. If your company is innovative and cutting edge, you'll want a sleek and modern logo with design elements that show movement. If, by contrast, you want to send the message, "You can count on us, we're a traditional and stable organization," then you'll want very solid, very classic design elements. So now let's look at some examples that some companies have used in their logos. The simplest version is a word art rendering of the name of your company. But there's a message inherent in these. If you look at the FedEx logo, it's very solid. These are bold lines, but they're also classic. The message here is, "You can count on us." IBM, by contrast, has a design that has solid letters in terms of the font, but the lines that run through them show an image of change. So the message here might be, we're always innovating, we're always changing, we're always updating. Some companies include their name along with some kind of design element. Coco Chanel, for example, has her initials, CC, forward and backwards. She's the founder of the company. So this shows stability. It's a company that's been around a very long time. And notice the bold, solid letters. Audi, by contrast, is evoking the Olympic rings. They cannot use all 5 of the rings because that would be copyright infringement. But the message is very clear. It connects to the idea of champion. And finally, the Amazon smile is a friendly kind of logo, and it also conveys the message, "We can make you happy." Some companies use their initials rather than the full name of the company. Some of these may be familiar and some not. Notice GE. They use a cursive design showing the history, the long history of their company. And you might also see the swirls around the initials as evoking the idea of the movement of electricity. The next one, LCSI, has chosen sleek modern letters that are stylized and give a sense of movement. Notice also that the L from the initials is repeated in the design element to the left. And finally, JTA incorporates a little bit of a design element right into the initials. The initials JTA themselves are very, very solid, classic looking, but there's a sense of movement in the swoop that forms the cross of the A. Some companies use geometric elements to convey an image. For example, Otis on the left there uses curved lines to show a sense of modernness, and the different colors show a sense of change and innovation. In the center, the family shelter wants to get across the idea that we're friendly. Rounded lines show friendliness, but the letters are very solid, showing "You can count on us." And of course, the cross shows light, as in hope, and it also conveys the Christian message. And finally, the design on the right is a bank. So the sharp angles show tradition, solidity, and again, they've chosen very classic font for their initials. Some logos include a slogan. This is a way to get across to your audience what kind of a company you are, or to generate some excitement. So we see here that AWC wants to get across the message, We are going to help you win. So they use winning together. The financial business coach on the right has a little bit too much going on for my taste, but the logo at the bottom is interesting. Lose the debt, build the wealth. That's a call to action. It actually tells the customer, do this. Very similar to the Nike's Do It commercial. Some companies use an image rather than a picture or a geometric design. I'm sure you're familiar with the one on the left. That's Twitter, and obviously a bird tweeting makes a lot of sense. The one in the center is very interesting. If you look closely, you'll see that it's a dog and a person is wrapping his arms around that dog. Very friendly element. Goodwill is particularly interesting. It looks at first like a smiley face, but you can also notice by the shape that it's a theater mask. What it evokes is half of the comedy tragedy face mask, and it's showing the audience that this is going to have a happy ending. Remember that comedy doesn't mean funny in the theater context, it means happy outcome. So Goodwill is showing you can have a happy outcome by working with us. There are some, however, some companies that make some mistakes with their logos. In my view, these particular logos don't give enough information to the audience. For example, Roberto Puente, it's a very sleek design. It shows solidity in the weight of the font and yet a sleekness in the roundedness of it and the way that the R and the P sort of end in a swoop. And I know who runs the company because I can see the name, but by looking at it, I have no idea what this company does. The same is true of the second logo, Freedom Man. I have no idea who Freedom Man is. I know this person wants to connect to America and to traditional American values, but I have no idea what this company does for me. And finally, Stripe. I have no idea what Stripe is about. It's in lowercase, which might mean it's humble. The font is heavy and yet it's rounded, so I see solidity and friendliness, but I have no idea what this company does. Don't make that mistake. I hope that this view has helped you a little bit to think about what works and doesn't work and what kind of message that you might like to convey for your company.